From Goodison Park to the Etihad, for all your news and views on the Blues, welcome to the Blue Side Podcast.
So we're not going to spend too long giving you a big biography on both of us. We'll just jump straight into it in a second.
Yeah.
We're just obviously going to address the big issue, why we're doing a podcast on Everton and City. Well,
We both hate Liverpool.
yeah. Basically, I'm an Everton fan that works in Manchester, and yeah, we both hate teams that play in red.
Yeah, I'm from Manchester. I work in Manchester. You can already guess which team I hate in red. But over the last couple of years, you know, the ones that play on the red side of Merseyside have also come up to the top of the list. So,
Natural friendship.
natural friendship, you know what they say?
Hatred of Liverpool.
You
So.
find friendship and hatred.
There you
So,
go.
here we are, hopefully. I mean, if you like Liverpool United, feel free to listen along. You probably won't enjoy it. Especially when we get on later on to Aston Villa. Oh,
Yeah,
can't wait for that.
it's going to be fun.
It's going to be great. So, we're just going to... This is obviously our very first podcast. We're a little bit late to the party. So we're going to just talk about some our transfer summer, the summer transfer market.
Yeah.
One of us is really happy. One of us...
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you all talk very briefly on yours because you
Yeah,
don't do much business.
yeah. I'll talk about how we didn't replace players that we've needed to
Yep.
replace for about 3 years.
Yep.
And you'll be like, oh, we've got those
Yeah,
great
yeah.
players. It'll feel like I'm a City fan from pre-2008.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I was. I remember watching City get beat 8-1 at Middlesbrough. So
That's him getting in, and he's not just a glory hunter.
I'm not just a glory hunter. I wish I was, because that wouldn't hurt as much when we lose. But it does.
It's okay. It's okay.
Alright, yeah. Right, so let's talk about the transfer market. So obviously...
I'll let you take away, because as I said, yours is much more brief.
Yeah, and it's not as good.
Because, like...
It's just nowhere near as good.
No, there's a lot of business you felt should have been done, didn't get done.
So over the last 2 years, we've lost two of arguably our best ever players.
Yeah.
We lost Company last year,
Mm-hmm.
and this summer we lost David Silva.
Yeah.
Now, Company, when he left, was still not at his peak, but he was like still playing where he was probably our best centre back.
Yeah.
Silva left, obviously, he's like 34. Midfielders don't tend to last as long as centre backs. So, you know, he wasn't at his peak, but still great, still amazing. Still a player that we'd play for important games. And then last year, Pep was just like, oh, we don't need to sign a centre back. It's all fine. If we need to, Fernandinho will go there. But we've got Otamendi, we've got Laporte, who's great, and we've got Stones. First game in, or second game in, Laporte gets like an injury, rules him out for pretty much most of the season.
Yeah.
Stones is made of glass.
Yeah.
So what's the point of like relying on John Stones? Especially since like he's like made of glass, and then when he comes back, he needs like 10 games before he starts playing anywhere near like a level that's good enough for us. And then let's just not talk about Otamendi. Like he's been good like for the last few years. When we won in 17-18, he made Team of the Year, but I think that's more down to the fact that we just didn't use the ball and concede. So obviously last year we were disappointed, and a big part of the fact, when you look at it, we lost our two centre backs.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Company and we lost Laporte, our two starting centre backs from the year before. So it does not surprise me that we were so far behind Liverpool.
Yeah.
Especially like when we started, I was like, oh, we're gonna get smashed as soon as Laporte went. Like the year before, we lost De Bruyne for like most of the year, and as important as De Bruyne is, we were like filled to the brim with midfielders, so it didn't hurt anywhere near as much as what we thought it was going to do. And the other thing is that Aguero has only got 1 year left on his contract, so he's probably going to leave next summer. Now, they think he's always wanted to go back to Independiente.
Yeah.
He owns a bit of Independiente.
Yeah.
But he's also starting to become made of glass again. Like he used to be made of glass, his knees were just terrible. Yeah. And now, for the last couple of seasons, it's been okay. He'd probably only play like 30 games a season. He'd score nearly 30 goals, so that was okay. Yeah. So, after that run, this season we have decided to sign Nathan Ake as a centre-back to replace Company.
Not happy with that?
He's decent.
Yeah.
He's alright. Yeah. And the first few games he's played, he was probably one of our best performers. But he's not 21 coming from Bournemouth. He's 25 coming from Bournemouth.
That's good.
Which, on one hand, you're like, oh, he's got some experience. He's got some experience in how to get relegated.
Yeah.
And at the minute, the position we're in, we may need him for that relegation level. But I'm okay with it. £40 million for what people would say is a squad player seems a lot.
Yeah.
But Liverpool went out and signed Diogo Jota for 45 million plus add-ons.
Yeah.
So, nowadays 40 million isn't a lot for a squad
the
player.
money's completely changed in such a short space of time.
Yeah.
You just can't compare it to even just a few years ago.
We signed Aguero for like 31 million.
Yeah.
I know it got advertised at the time for 38 million, but apparently it came out that it was 31 to appease Atletico fans because they didn't want to think Aguero left for 31.
Yeah.
But other than that, Kate, we've now signed in the last week of the transfer market. We signed Ruben Dias.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he looks good
on like YouTube videos and Football Manager. And
yes,
FIFA.
he looks good. He looks good. He looks good on FIFA. Got a high rating, and he looks good in the Portuguese league. But guess who else looked good from there? Mangala. Mangala. When we got him, he looked so good. He was fast. He was like strong. He could tackle. And then the first game he played, he was like, "Wow, we've got a player." And then the next game after that, we're like, "No, we haven't." He was just ridiculously bad. So, as much as I'm excited about Diaz, he's 23, which means he's not anywhere near his peak yet.
No.
And he hasn't had experience in any of the top 5 leagues in Europe. Now, obviously, he played for Benfica, which is obviously a notoriously large team, and like historically, it's a big team. But Celtic are a big team historically, and I wouldn't want to go out and buy their centre back. Other than Van Dijk, but Van Dijk wasn't Van Dijk. He was at Celtic. Yeah. So we've got them too. So I feel a little bit better. Plus we've moved Otamendi on. Yeah. That's a big plus. Now, as well as losing Aguero, well, we've not lost Aguero, but he's going to leave soon. As well as losing our best centre back and one of our best ever midfielders, we also lost arguably our best winger this year because Sane the Snake decided to go to Bayern. I say Sane the Snake. He's not a snake. It just hurts because he went to Bayern. I can't blame him. He's a young lad who wants to go back home to Germany and he can go and play at the European Champions. So you can't really blame him for that. So instead, we decided to sign Ferran Torres.
Know nothing about him. And before we signed him, guess how much I knew about him? Nothing. Nothing. I'd never heard of him. I knew he was on FIFA, and like, that's it. Yeah. Like, he was just a player that happened to play for Valencia. Didn't really know. Yeah. And I don't really take my opinions of players off FIFA. No. That's just not what you should do. No.
But and then that Guillem Belay, the Sky Sports, the Spanish guy, he was just like, oh, he's one of like Spain's biggest talents. I was like, yeah, but your opinion doesn't mean much. Like, it's good being the Sky Sports correspondent, but he gets a lot of things wrong. Oh yeah. So we've got him now. Okay. On the game against, I think it was Burnley this year, looked pretty good. Mm-hmm. He did like this amazing outside of the foot pass. Yeah. Which we should have scored, and Sterling bluffed, of course, because it's Sterling. He can't score from 3 yards out, but can score like a 30-yard curler. But anyway, he looks okay. And he started off slow, but Sane also started off slow. Mm-hmm. I remember when we first signed him, I think it was 3 games into the season, I went to the Etihad and watched him, and he started. It was his first start, and he was getting carried a lot, but that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. When you first come, that's okay. And who else have we signed? Much later. Obviously, it wasn't really a new signing. It's someone we signed a year ago. Right. It's a young lad from America called Zach Steffen. Now, I don't think he's USA number 1 goalie, but I think he's like up for it. Okay. And he was like in the USA team, the MLS team of the year, that year. And now obviously Bravo's gone, which is a godsend really, because I think it was like when he played for us in that year, he had a start of like 6 games in a row, every shot on target went in. or something ridiculous like that. I'm sure other people will know the stat better than me, but off the top of my head, it was something ridiculous like that.
Get ready for those comments.
Yeah, get ready for it was only 4 games, actually.
You did well with the Van Dijk save before.
I know, yeah. But yeah.
I know, you're going to get mad if you don't
There'll be someone that's just like, I got Google, and actually, it was 4 games, and it was only like 99% of the shots on target. Anyway, end of the story. Claudio Bravo was shit. He won us a League Cup, and that's it. Oh, and a Community Shield. He did well in the Community Shield.
Yeah.
He's a good penalty saver, like Caballero, great penalty saver. Everything else, dog shit. And that's it, really. We signed a couple of young lads, like a guy called Yankuto. He's gone to Girona, I think, on loan, where we just seem to send people because we own them. Overall, I'd give it a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
And obviously, the main thing that never happened was Messi.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got a question, and it was, do you feel... Did you want to do a marquee signing? Did you feel like City should have done a marquee signing? Not just, even if you take Messi out of it, do you feel like you just need to go out and get a big name and bring a big name to the squad?
I think what we needed, and what which we should hopefully get next year, and I think the only reason it's been put off a year is because in a year, Erling Haaland for Dortmund has a £63 million buyout clause.
That'd be a good signing.
But and also his dad played for us. He's the one that Roy Keane, who ended his career.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Did on purpose as well, didn't he?
Yeah, because
he came out and said
it was the year before, or like in the game like they last played together. Like he like did a dirty tackle on Keane, and, and Keane was like, "I'll get you back for that," and threatened him in like the tunnels and stuff, and then just like ripped his knee off. We needed that marquee signing, and I think it's whether it was Haaland or Messi. Obviously, I'd have loved it to have been Messi and get Haaland next year, but it's becoming painfully obvious that we need that. I know we've got De Bruyne, but we need that special player that can win a Champions League. Like Messi has the ability to. Like I know they got knocked out by Liverpool last year, but in that first leg when it was 3-0, like he didn't just score goals, he set up goals, and he also set up 2 or 3 clear chances, like Dembele chance right at the end. If it was 4-0, like obviously maybe it would have been 4-0 on aggregate, like 4-all, but it wouldn't have been 5-0 to Liverpool. And also, as big of a hill as the 4-0 was to climb, the 3-0 first leg was to climb, 4-0 is completely different. So the extra goal makes it completely different. And obviously on that game in the second leg, there's that famous picture which I put on where there's Messi and there's Van Dijk and there's like Ronaldo and there's like 5 players around him, something like that. And it's just like, and everyone's like, oh, Messi's rubbish, he's lost it. What can you do? You can be as good as you want.
Exactly.
And you've got 5 players who are. It's not like he's playing against 5 League One players. He's playing against 5 Liverpool players. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't. There's not much you can do. And I think we needed Messi. And I think it was a big miss. And I think it derailed our transfer plans because we stopped going for players. Because it's just like, oh, if we get Messi, we can't really afford to get another person. Because UEFA are our backs now because they got absolutely wrecked. Get wrecked, UEFA. What do? You just pay off CAS. I'd like to point out, by the way, to a lot of people that said we just bought off CAS, would it not have been easier just to buy off UEFA before it even got there? Because UEFA are not corrupt at all. They would not take
no.
Not UEFA.
No.
I feel like it would have been easier for us to just go, here's $1 billion, just walk away, and it'd have been all fine. $1 billion for our own, he just probably doesn't even notice it.
How do you know you didn't pay off UEFA, but UEFA were like, well, we got to take
it. Maybe we did, but like, we still would have had to pay off CAS at the same time. Because it went to the Court of Arbitration of Sport. But no, I think we needed Messi, or we needed a big signing. We needed a new striker, because Jesus is good, but he's not good enough, I don't think. He's not going to be... I know last year he scored like 23 goals or something like that, but he's not going to be Aguero. And Aguero's got 1 year left in him. He's 32, or 31, I think he's 32. And he's going to get more injuries this year. So you can't really rely on Aguero to score 30 goals this year. And De Bruyne isn't a goal scorer, he's someone that sets up, so you need someone on the other end of De Bruyne's cross. So overall...
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Not an awful transfer.
Not an awful transfer market, but not anything like I thought we would get. Especially after the CAS here, I thought we were just going to go out and just buy It was like, how much doesn't matter, we can afford it now. But yeah, I'm a little bit upset. But at the same time, I don't think we're going to win it this year.
Yeah.
I can't see us winning it because we've not improved enough to close that 20-point gap.
We're going to win it, aren't we?
Yeah. Let's get on to Everton then. So, Ryan,
Yeah.
how do you feel about the transfer business done by Everton this year?
Well, it was a masterclass, wasn't it?
It was a masterclass.
By Carlo Ancelotti.
It was,
and
to be fair.
we'll give some due to Marcel Brands as well. He's got a role in it all. But last season, if you had to pick our weakest area on the pitch, you'd be hard pressed to not just say the entire 11.
You got your goalie, you got the right back, you got the centre backs, you got your midfielders.
To be fair, if you looked at it's your starting 11, you'd say, okay, you've got Dean,
I love
the
Dean.
best
I think
in the league, yeah. One of. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
Best
better
than Luke Shaw.
Yeah, he's better than Mendy.
Best than Chilwell.
He's better than. Yeah, I think Chilwell is the most overrated left back.
So
in the entire league.
he's
50 million Chelsea paid.
He's easily top 3 left backs in the league.
Yeah, I'd go with that. You've got, as much as it pains me, Robertson's a good left back. He's good. Him and Trent are great going forward. Defensively,
We've been over this. They're great. The new modern fullbacks where it's like fuck defending.
They're like fullbacks that just basically are wing back.
Yeah.
And they just have 2 defenders at the back.
But yeah, so Dean, solid left back.
Dean was a straight in.
Felt like we needed some
got.
left back cover because Baines retired.
Yeah.
Pickford, we went on his back as much. I know we'll get to it in a bit. Yeah.
Pickford,
Right back.
You can't save it. It is near post.
Right back, Coleman.
Yeah.
Fair.
You had Sidibe last year, didn't you?
Sidibe.
Do you remember,
Can't even remember to put 2 socks on. Oh
no. Do you remember when you were like one of the most coveted right backs in Europe when you played for Monaco?
No.
But he was. Him and Mendy were like seen as like the bombing forward fullbacks. Look at him now.
To be fair, going forward, he wasn't too bad, and there was a couple of games Ancelotti played him right mid.
Yeah.
Because he was like, because he could put a decent cross in. So yeah, we needed right back cover because we said Sidibe. I think we had an option to buy at the end of the season. Like, no, you're okay. So we needed cover for full-backs. And then going in, we've got Holgate, solid centre back.
He was like a bit of a not revelation, but he came
through
last year.
Yeah, he did,
was
definitely.
Pretty decent.
So we went massive on. Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of Keane.
You were slating him all summer.
Called him a donkey, called him a lard ass. Still stand by some of it, but
I mean, he does turn at the same rate as a dump truck, doesn't he?
Yeah. But since the whole project restart, he's like a different player, and since the season began, he's been solid. So centre backs.
He's probably knackered, the poor lad. He probably needed a rest.
Fairly confident at centre backs. Going forward, you got Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. They got 15 apiece each.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's not brilliant. You want a 20+ goals.
Yeah, but Richarlison isn't an out-and-out striker.
That's it. He's usually on the wing, and especially more this season.
Calvert-Lewin was still just getting to grasp with playing consistently.
He's scored over half the goals already this season.
Probably more than that, Jesus.
Yeah.
He's got a lot.
So the key area, the dire area in need of like some attention was the midfield.
Yeah, because you weren't the biggest fan of Gylfi, was you?
No, any Everton fan will tell you he's shit, right?
45 million
Other fans of other teams won't, because what happens is he'll score 1 brilliant goal a season.
Like a cracker from 30
yards. He'll score a goal outside the box, free kick, and he might do a great assist.
Yeah.
And that's what other teams will see on match day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they'll go like, he's a great player, he's your best player, and you say that to an Everton fan, you're not. The comments that go on like the Twitter when we...
I can't wait for an Everton fan to comment on this being like, he's not that bad.
Oh, like, some Everton fans will like him, and I will say, we'll get into it later on, now that the midfield's been revamped, I feel like he's playing with a lot more confidence, and he's not...
Is it confidence, or is it more just like, oh, I better like put a shift in?
Well, that might be true, but I feel like it was like, we paid 45 million, you're our number 10, you need to do everything. But he's got a lot better players in the midfield now, and I feel like the pressure's off him to be the guy.
To be fair to say that, you had Andre Gomez, which was decent.
Yeah.
But then you had Tom Davis.
Yeah.
Or Davies.
We'll get to that later, yeah. But yeah, the midfield, it had nothing. Like...
Yeah. Didn't have like that that bite. Do you know what I mean?
It just had nothing. Yeah. It just didn't feel like we had a midfield.
Yeah. It was just players that you just dropping in there and hope for the best.
Yeah. So that's the area that drastically needed overhaul.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he done. Picked 3 targets: Allen, Decore, James Rodriguez.
Yeah.
and he got all 3 in, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Like the Rodriguez one, the rumours started.
And he was, I remember the rumours starting, seeing it on like Twitter. I was like, oh, I mean, maybe he'd
But there's a lot of fans like, no. And even me was a bit like, it'd be nice. And then the thing is, he was like, got golden boot at the World Cup, didn't he? And he went to Madrid. And then loads of people were like, oh, well, that was 6 years ago, and what's he done since? For a kick-off anyone that is saying that, he was in the Bundesliga team of the season.
Yeah.
Season
I think
17-18,
it was,
under Ancelotti.
I think I read a stat that I think in the last 4 teams he's been at, other than Monaco, because I think he left just before they won anything. He won the league in every single team he played for. He won the league when he was at Porto. He won the league. I think he won the European Cup as well. The Europa. He won the league at Real, and then went and won the league. Oh, and Champions League 2 Champions Leagues, and then won the league at Bayern.
Yeah.
So he's not like a washed up.
But it's not even like he was a passenger in some of those teams.
He feels like like Coutinho feels now, where he doesn't seem to be that top player anymore because Barcelona have just decided he's no longer good, although he's back now because they couldn't buy anyone really. But that's how he feels.
He had their pants down when he played for Bayern.
He scored. I think he came on, scored one, and set up like another 2 or something like that. Yeah.
So we brought him in, and that was our key sign right there. Like, didn't think we'd get him really. And it was amazing. Like, there's a picture.
Like, if you just got Decore in Aaron, that was still been
But there's like a picture going around, and it's like, what a difference like 2 years makes. And it's the January transfer window where Sam Allardyce signs Walcott, and it's them two. And then it's the summer one, and it's Ancelotti and Rodriguez. And it doesn't even feel like it's real. It feels like it's different.
I can imagine,
But so
I remember when we got bought out, when we started signing, but it doesn't like sink in. Like, you're like, oh, what's he doing at our place? Do you know what I mean? When like Robinho, Tevez, and got made Adebayo, it was like,
yeah. So Rodriguez, we all knew, and then we got him, and we looked forward to start season with. Then Alan, now he was what we needed. He's like a ball-winning midfielder. Loves to tackle. Loves to tackle that much that there was a video going around where Napoli played Liverpool, and he tackles them, and he celebrates the tackle, and Everton fans were like, yes.
I remember, like, I didn't know loads about Alan, and then a couple of years ago, I think either before or after the 17-18 winning year for us, we were linked with him, and we're like heavily linked with him.
Yeah.
So then obviously, like, you see YouTube videos, and he looked good then. So to say it's a player that got linked with us.
Yeah.
Like,
he's
a great Champions League player.
He's a great player, and he basically usually sits in front of the back four.
Yeah.
Keeps that back four safe, and I think maybe that's one of the reasons why you got players like Keane and Mina playing a lot better, because they know he's there, and he can sweep up for them.
It's not like before where if he lost the ball, you wouldn't have Sigurdsson or someone there, just be like, it's you two centre backs, nothing.
And then with Decore, didn't know too much about him. Didn't watch.
I've seen him play for Watford. He looked really good.
Like, I hadn't seen much. There's a big revelation for this podcast. I don't watch a lot of other teams play. I watch Everton play, and then the odd big game. I'm going to branch out a bit more from the podcast. So I hadn't seen him play that much. I'd seen he scored a good goal for Watford against Brighton, where he basically picked up the halfway line, ran through everyone. So I was excited to see what Ancelotti wanted to do. Thought, and it's another midfielder, and he'd be better than the dross we had there anyway. So I was happy with that. So a bit of business that went under the radar until he started playing in the League Cup was, I'm going to probably murder this guy's name, I'm going to call him Nkunku. This is also a running theme we'll see on the podcast. I can't pronounce most football teams and most players' names, so we'll have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
We're going to call him Nkunku. Now, we got him from Marseille for about $250,000, and he was supposed to go straight to the under-23s and just do a season in the under-23s, but then Baines retired, so he got bumped up to back up left back, and when we get to the League Cup, he's really impressive. He looks good going forward.
He looks pretty quick. I remember watching like a highlight. He looked pretty quick.
Yeah, he looks like he's playing with a lot of confidence. I know we played Salford, Fleetwood, so not hard to play with confidence against them.
Yeah, but still for a young lad,
It's
19 big games.
So they were like a bit of business we'd done, and then on transfer deadline day we brought in Ben Godfrey.
Yes, I remember we had this conversation where it was just like, we need a big centre back. We signed James Rodriguez, Alan, Decore, Ben Godfrey.
Everton fans were getting like carried away with like who else we could bring in. You know, 'cause we'd sign these players.
Have you ever seen Mike Bassett?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember when they went for the AI simulation thing?
Yeah.
It's like Maradona,
Yeah.
Pele, Mark Lawrence.
Yeah.
And he was like, why? He was like, we run out of budget. That's how it felt with Everton. He was just like, James Rodriguez. We've got Ancelotti that we pay a shit ton of money each week. Decore, Allen. Why'd you get Ben Godfrey? We just couldn't afford a £50 million defender.
Now, again,
how much was he? It wasn't cheap, was it?
25 mil.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Equals around 25 mil.
Nowadays, it's not too bad. But
It's not too bad. Like, we got Rodriguez reportedly on a free now, which was a great bit of business. Allen was about 22, Decore about 20, Godfrey. Now, Godfrey's 22-year-old centre back.
Who did he come from again?
Norwich. Now, again, I didn't see him play too much. Don't know much about him, but do know Norwich signed a replacement centre back straight away in the window because they thought
before Godfrey left.
Yeah, because they thought. So they obviously knew he was Premier League quality and someone
was going to go.
Yeah. So and up to now we haven't seen him play.
Yeah.
For Everton. So just that there are a lot of there's a few like fan accounts and stuff putting teams out for the derby who they play, and a few of them like straight away putting Godfrey in for like Keane and stuff, and I'm like, whoa. Why is that? One, I think Keane's earned his place to stay.
Yeah. And two, like, you don't know how good this Godfrey's going to be.
But that's it. It's like you've seen him play.
You have got to take it with a pinch of salt playing for Norwich in both aspects, in the sense of if you played really well, it's easy to look really well in a poor team. No offense to Norwich.
No.
You went down last year. I think you can all agree.
Constant yo-yo club.
Yeah, exactly. But also, if you play bad, you can also use the excuse, I play for Norwich. Like, you're a centre back playing for Norwich. That's a tough. That's a tall.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Him and goalkeeper. Jesus Christ.
Speaking of goalkeepers, Rhys.
Oh God, here we go.
So
Big Jordan.
Yeah, he's had a few howlers, which we'll get into.
It was like this going up. 2018 World Cup, and it's just gone.
Yeah. And at the start of this season, he's made lots of howlers. A lot of fans calling for him to be dropped and stuff. A lot of fans calling for him to be get another goalie in, number 2, put some pressure on him, or sometimes like just stick this new keeper straight in. So we were linked with Romero from United.
He's pretty. You know what? He's alright.
Yeah. And
I think he's still Argentinian number 1. Him and Caballero share it.
He's a great goalkeeper. Now that didn't happen, and we signed Robin Olsen on loan from Roma.
How much has he played from?
Oh, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly convinced he's like third choice keeper for them. Like, I went on his like career stats, and he looks like a constant second choice goalkeeper for every club he's been at. Bar, I think he played for Mold.
Yeah. So, in a way, because Pickford's still young, you don't necessarily want to replace him, but you want a goalie good enough to challenge
some pressure on him.
Put him better.
I'm not slagging this. I'm not seeing him play.
Yeah, it's hard to, but like,
and he might be good. And I think he's 30, so
he's got some experience.
Yeah.
There, he can. If anything, he can be sort of like a kind of coach.
Yeah.
For Pickford and show him what he's doing wrong.
Yeah.
Now, how old's Pickford now?
Oh God, you got me there, mate.
Is he like 24, 25?
Yeah, he's not as young.
For a goalkeeper, really young.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, they came out the other day with that Romero. We were negotiating for a loan. I don't know how true this is. We were going to pay 100% of his wages, which is £100 a week. Yes.
As a third choice goalie at Roma, he's getting 100.
No, not Olsen. Romero.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say.
I was like, Jesus
Christ.
No,
Romero. We were going to play.
I'll be third choice for Roma. 100k. Never going to play. So
£100 a week was his wages and a $2 million loan fee. Now, that to me is not good business. £100. Unless you're putting them straight in.
United, it would be very easy to tell United to pay 50% as well. They'd be all over that. They paid like 50% of Sanchez's wages.
Apparently they want a loan deal. They said 8 million transfer is what they wanted.
I've just done it, mate. 8 million's not that much.
Yeah, but he's going to come in. Is he going to want £100 a week? And then is he going to be first choice, second choice?
I reckon you could like cut that down
surely
to 80. I reckon you could easily cut that because he's like 33. You're like, oh, this is your last chance to play at a big team.
2 goalkeepers on close to 100k a week. One of them.
You should have just shifted Gilfie, then, you should have just shifted Gilfie and brought in Romero.
Yeah, but so they were the incomings, the arrivals.
The arrivals.
I don't know.
Yeah. The incomings.
So I was going to go with a couple of transfers out. It was just Moise Keane went to loan PSG.
Yeah,
weird one.
We've had a conversation a lot on when you signed him last year.
I was kind of excited for you because
Everyone was, yeah.
he looked good at Juventus.
Yeah,
I know he hadn't played many games when he came on,
Yeah.
and there was a bit of a fanfare about it when he signed.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember? Was it the owner or was it the manager said, "Oh, don't worry, we'll look after your son."
Yeah,
Like,
Marcel
to the mum.
Brands, yeah.
To the mum. I thought that was really sweet. I thought, oh, he's going to be.
Yeah.
And then he never got a game, and when he came on, I feel like it's been a bit harsh on him. I feel like he needed that run. When you're 19, you just signed for a new team. You change countries.
I think maybe one of the issues was like you just said, he signed and he was supposed to be this big thing, and then he wasn't getting game time, and
he just didn't hit the ground running.
Yeah, but is that his issue? Did he think, oh, I'm coming to Everton from Juve and I'm going to be their striker?
Yeah, you
and
don't
he
know,
wasn't getting the minutes, do you know what I mean?
I don't think Duncan Ferguson helped him.
What do you mean
when he brought him on and then
subbed him,
yeah.
To be,
what's that going to do to your confidence?
But he's got to PSG, and it's basically replaced Cavani.
And isn't it like they've got to buy him next year?
Is
it an option or is it
not too sure.
Or is it mandatory?
I'm not too sure on that. Yeah,
he's basically on.
Yeah, I
can't
think
see him
he's
playing
enjoyed
again.
his time here. So,
I mean, not playing and then having to live in Liverpool in the weather of the northwest.
Yeah,
I would not enjoy it either.
And then Walcott on loan to Southampton.
I know. This was weird. That came out of nowhere. That
it's a nice bit of business. He's a nice guy. I do like Walcott.
Nice guy. Nice guys don't win your games.
Well, no. I'm not sad that he's gone. But Snidlin, he finally went. He
gone?
Yeah, he went to
really?
Nice for 2 million. Yeah,
Where?
He went 2 million. Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And then you probably won't know much about this, or you might, because you're not an Everton fan. Sandro Ramirez. We signed him on when we won the transfer window, which is what people say. We signed window when we signed Sigurdsson, Sandro Ramirez, Rooney, Klassen. All of those players have clearly gone on.
Oh, I remember Davy Klassen.
Yeah, he's going to be
Ajax.
Yeah.
He's
gone back to Ajax.
He cost a lot of money.
Yes.
Like what?
We just signed
20-30 million or something.
Midfielder from Ajax. He was going to be brilliant.
I remember him. I think I put him in my fantasy team when he first came in. I was like, oh, he's going to do really well. He was good at Ajax. And then
basically, that transfer window was like this transfer window, but none of it worked. Like Sandro Ramirez, striker from Spain, and he was supposed to be great. And then
where did you sign him from? Just some like lower.
I think he was from. I'm gonna probably make a tit to myself, like Valencia.
Sorry, I'll
say that.
I'll put it on. I'll correct it.
No one's ever gonna listen to the podcast again because I got it wrong.
I'll just dub over your voice. I think he's from Betis.
But people are complaining 'cause he's never getting a game for us because he's awful. But he's taking up the wage. But that is one of the issues. We need to clear people.
Yeah. A lot of the time, you don't need that transfer fee. You just need to get rid of that wage.
Oh, well, it's great because we didn't get a transfer fee.
Yeah.
I think they paid off his contract.
That'll do.
Yeah. But I just thought I'd mention it because Everton fans celebrated the leaving of him. Based on mainly the ins, I'd rate it 8 out of 10. I'd say
I'd give you a 9 to be fair.
Do you know what? The only
just because of like how much it has transformed you.
Oh yeah. But the only fear
is one of them getting injured.
The lack of a striker cover for me. You're getting Keane.
You get rid of Keane. You've got Calvert-Lewin. You've got Richarlison, and he's a winger.
Yeah.
And he's
that's it.
Yeah, it's a good point that.
But
you've got to work with what you've got so far, and Calvert-Lewin's fit so far.
Not just that, the domestic transfer window through the EFL isn't shut yet.
So maybe get someone on loan or something like that.
I don't know. Josh King still.
I heard that
he's linked to West Ham because apparently they're buying every championship striker.
But he was also linked to like Torino or someone like that.
He was. So if we could bring in like a Josh King as a backup,
Josh King is a good player.
Yeah.
A very good player.
I said I'd have liked us to bring in like an older striker, like a 30+ striker who's done it. Proven in the Prem, like a Giroud.
Like a Fernando Llorente.
No.
You didn't get linked with him though,
did you?
Yeah. I remember you texted me, you was like,
he scored like 3 goals in 3 seasons, and 2 of those seasons were in the Prem.
Yeah, one of them was to knock us out now. Fuck Fernando Llorente.
But just an older player who's not going to kick up a fuss. They sat on the bench, but you know you can bring him up for the last 20 of a match, and he can put that ball in the back of the net for you.
Yeah.
And he's there as a backup.
Yeah, like you said, like a Giroud.
Yeah.
Like a Giroud, that type of player.
So I feel like we need something like that just to make it a 10. Or
can you not call up Rooney again from Derby? Just like
wait,
see another go.
Yeah. But
That
yeah,
was a weird. Sorry, I know
Go
we're going
on.
off on a tangent. I don't. Why did he only last a year? He came home as like a boyhood hero.
and he did score a few goals.
He wasn't like terrible. Do you reckon just the amount of wages you were paying?
Yeah. It was nice. I always said he would come back to Everton. I always knew when we sold
It'd have been good
United.
if he retired there.
Yeah, I thought he would originally. I always said, oh, he's gone to United. I said he'll come back. He'll do a few seasons in Everton, and he retired at Everton, but he fucking did, didn't he? He got to like Dallas or somewhere.
Washington. Was it Washington?
I feel was it him or Defoe who went to like the Canadian team and said he loves America, but he was in a Canadian team.
Yeah, something like that.
It sounds like something Rooney would do, but I think it was Defoe.
I feel
who
like
did
he
it.
was at DC United.
Yeah, I think it was DC.
Yeah,
United.
yeah.
So yeah, he went there and now he's at fucking Derby, isn't he?
Wait, what didn't he come in as like player manager or something? He was supposed to do some
Is he a
managing.
player coach. or
Coach,
something?
yeah. Because I thought they were just getting a Frank Lampard replacement at first.
Yeah.
I have expected like when Derby got Frank as manager, just being like, oh, we've got a kit in the back just in case, And Lampard was just like, nah, no, oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right, we're going into games.
Oh yeah. Do you want to start?
I'll start, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've had the better starts this season.
I just feel if I start, I'm just gonna be depressed for the rest of the podcast.
So
So
bring the mood down and start the
yeah. So we'll start off high. We've like gone up. We don't want to. Otherwise, we're going up and down.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right, so like I said, with the signings,
Yeah.
there was a lot of
Expectation.
expectation. Yeah, a lot of
More
optimism.
expectation than you get. To put this nicely, any other sort of time in the season, any other season really.
Yeah. You got Rodriguez, you got Ancelotti in charge. A lot of confidence.
Yeah.
First game of the season, Spurs away. Tough game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably going to say this a lot in the podcast because the only person I've ever talked to football about is my brother, so I'll probably say that. Said to my brother, right? But yeah, I did say to him, I said, this is the type of game you've got to win because we're wanting to be a top six.
Yeah.
If you want to be in the top six, you've got to beat the top six.
Yeah,
There's only 6 places, so you've got to beat one of those teams and finish higher than them. So it was a big game. New improved midfield, and it showed straight away. Won the game 1-0. Looking great header by Calvert-Lewin.
You could have won it by more with that Richarlison miss as well.
Yeah, he took around the keeper
And then skied it.
he sort of put himself on an awkward angle, and I think the momentum took him too much, and he just had to have a go in the end.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But we bossed the game in midfield. It was refreshing, and it's the first time for a few seasons I feel where I've been able to watch us in midfield and feel like every player was confident on the ball and would do something with the ball. Previous seasons, you think, oh, Tom Davies got it. He's going to lose it, and then he's going to foul the player that took the ball. And that's what happens. He gets it. He tries to sort of lose it. Yeah, he's marked on for a yellow every game. Yeah. So it was so refreshing to just be like, Gomez got it. Yeah, Alan's got it, and they're just passing it around. And at no point you think, oh, what's he going to do? It's just like, no, they know how to play football. And it was so refreshing, and we bossed that game. Now, a lot of pundits after it came out, oh, Spurs were awful. No one gave us any credit. Now, Spurs did have an off day. I'm not going to say it was
to be
all
fair, Spurs have had an off day for a while now. But at the same time, you still went to Spurs and won.
Yeah, that's me. Beat Spurs
Can't really
1-0 away. Well, Spurs got some of their own medicine back because they batter United, 6-1.
Oh,
and
we'll get to that later.
Yeah, but what does every pundit say?
Oh,
United are awful. United are so bad. Producer Evans there's crying his eyes out.
I want a full-on breakdown live on Sky.
Oh God, saying he's going to slap players, says he's going to quit Sky Sports. He doesn't like being sad.
I just want to quit. It's like, so do we, Patrice. Get fucked.
But yeah, so like they had the same thing. It wasn't that Spurs were good, it was United were bad, but
you always get that though, no matter what you do. It's always like if you go and hammer someone, you don't get the credit. It's just like when we beat Liverpool at the end of last season 4-0, it was like, oh, they've already won the league, it's wrapped up, you don't really care. Just like, stop making excuses, just say they got shit next. Do you know what I mean?
Now, second game of the season was Carabao Cup game against Salford at home. Now,
the mighty Salford City.
Now, I don't understand this, but I feel like any Everton manager, if they want to become a legend, just win a cup. It's been 25 years, just go and win a cup.
Was it Moyes that was in charge when you lost in the final to Chelsea?
But it's like
Luis Zaha scored in that, right?
Yeah. Like one of the fastest goals in FA Cup history.
And it was all downhill.
But yeah, So just go and win a cup.
Yeah.
So
Go for a cup.
I
I think as well, not just that. You need a cup for that winning mentality, so that the teams get you get a feeling of what winning like. Because like as well as you're doing, maybe you won't win the Premier League this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. In all honesty, we're having a laugh. We're not getting carried away.
Yeah.
It's a great start to the season.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it's nice, but we know.
We'll get to a little bit why starts of the season don't mean anything. But what I mean is, I can only go off like what happened with us. Is we got to COVID and we had a couple of years where we were signing all these players and we weren't really doing anything. We were just getting closer to the top four, and we'd get Spurs beat us to the top four on like the match against them, and then we won the FA Cup, and then the next season we won the Premier League, and the season after that we lost in the FA Cup final. But the season after that we won a League Cup, and now in the last like 5 years we won 4 League Cups. But it also happened with Liverpool. They won that Champions League, and then their players got used to that winning. And I remember when they won the Champions League, my dad was like, I'd be very worried about next year because now they've got that feeling of winning. And they went and gone and smashed the Premier League. So winning a cup is probably more important than people
honestly,
give credit for.
There's like a hypothetical that always gets put around on like Twitter and all sorts, which is like, to Everton fans, it's like, would you rather finish 5th or 4th, say, or win the FA Cup and finish 15th? And I'd say 60, 70, 80% of the fans will say FA Cup.
Yeah.
Give us that cup. Plus, you get into Europe with the
Yeah,
cup. So
exactly, yeah.
you've
It
got a
doesn't matter.
cup and Europe.
Yeah.
You've had
Otherwise,
a
you got
season
like Europe and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so bringing us back, because I'm going off on a tangent here, but yeah. So we went in the Carabao Cup against Salford, nice easy tie at home. Played basically
a
B team.
But you've now got a B team.
Yeah, based on how we've strengthened, it's like this is a good team. Like I think we started Sigurdsson and Davies in midfield, and I was like, we started that midfield in the Prem last season. So
this was our number 1 team.
And we won 3-0. Now, what was good about that game was it was promising for the left-hand side because we had Nkuku. Yeah, we're going with that. Nkuku, that we're going
So I'm sure somebody will be like...
Just correct me, just laugh at me.
Be like, oh, he said it's so wrong.
It's
like, well, you have a go then. You have a go when the camera's rolling.
If you think you could say it better than me, record it, send to us, and I'll just put that in, that audio clip every time. But yeah, this is his first game. Gordon, he's a young local lad who's playing left mid. And they were great, and like I said, Nkuku going up that left with confidence, taking people on. It was great, and Gordon I'm not sure how old he is, but he's only young. He got an assist, he hit the post, it was outside the box, it was unlucky. And he was fouled for the pen.
Alright.
So he was
was he the mid?
Yeah, he's left mid, So that was a great game, but it's just first game in the cup, don't get too carried away. We already knew we had Fleetwood in the next round.
Another hard game.
Another tough game.
You're getting these tough draws.
Oh yeah. But back to the league, West Brom.
Yep.
So on paper, should win.
Should be an easy game.
Yeah. So about 10 minutes in, Diangala goes down the other end.
That young lad from West Ham.
If you're a West Ham fan,
we're really sorry.
And you happen to listen to this, you clearly lost. But there was a lot of you sold them to West Brom. Arguably could be fighting relegation together. So why would you sell? And it was a good goal.
It looks decent.
Mina backed off. So if we're gonna,
you got to really nitpick.
And Mina backed off, let him have a shot. Bad defender, but we'll let that off. And some people said Pickford jumped late. I'm not gonna get into that. It was a good goal as far as I'm concerned.
Pickford do that thing where it's just like a big lag between
the
ball being kicked and him jumping.
So that happened, and it was like, what's going on? Party's over. We equalise, and then it's 1-1, and West Brom must be thinking, it's okay, we're hanging on here.
Then they had that,
Then Rodriguez scores, great goal, right? Then about 2 minutes later, Kieran Gibbs commits GBH proper, kicks 10 times the shit out of Rodriguez, puts him on the floor, gets sent off. And it's like, what for? He said, we're going to say, what for? He said, I'll do it again.
He did. He's
Coleman's house.
Honestly, I always said this, it was like that goofy meme, isn't it? He's like, fucking do it again. That'll be on right up here right now.
But I've not seen a team collapse as quickly because it goes, Rodriguez scores 2-1, Gibbs gets sent off.
And then-
Half-time whistle, okay.
Yeah.
Village comes on the
Right.
pitch and he's like, "Ref, you got a card," and the ref's just like, "Oh, fuck off." Go for a blue.
Just like, I just heard it from Gibbs. Can you just not? Please?
Yeah. So, like, team, they fell apart. Like, they were giving us a go. Anyway.
Imagine that team's not at half time.
Well, it was alright.
I bet they were just kicking holes out of like the dressing room, weren't they?
They
Oh,
come
the
out.
makeshift one.
Come out, don't they? Yeah, the dressing rooms at the car park, don't you? Come out second half, free kick, Herrera, goals, 2-1.
Oh yeah.
So again, we're like, oh, Everton's back. Oh well. But no, Big Mick Keane, he scores.
Big Mickey.
And Calvert-Lewin gets another 2 to get his first hat-trick of the season. And
Calvert-Lewin looks proper good this year.
he's looking great. Yeah,
He looks really good this year.
So good that like he's getting linked to like United and Arsenal.
Didn't he get linked at the end of last season? I remember being like, and I remember us being like, why would United want Calvert-Lewin? And I'm like, now we know why United want Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
Although they've got the mighty Edison Cavani now.
Oh, yeah. Great signing. Yeah, he's not going to flop. And if he doesn't, come and get us. You 6 people.
I can't wait for this to get clipped. He's going to flop 30 goals.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was a game I feel like an old Everton side might not have come back from when it was 2-2, even against 10 men. Because, a lot of times
heads go down, don't
it can be hard to beat a 10-man side, as stupid that sounds.
Yeah, because they just sit behind the ball.
And you've got to break them down.
And they get that goal, it's like,
Yeah.
now they're just going to play for that draw.
So to come out and get back in it, and then basically demolish them 5-2.
Yeah.
It was great. So then we went into this next round of the cup against Fleetwood.
Yep.
And we repeated the scoreline, 5-2 again, against Joey Barton's Fleetwood.
5-2 is going to come up a lot on this podcast. Can't wait to get to my 5-2.
And it was a good game. Richarlison scores, great assist by Bernard for the header.
Yeah.
And we're 2-0 up, and then Keane plays a graveyard ball back to Pickford.
Mick Keane or Moisey?
Big Mick Keane.
And had Moisey left by then?
No, he makes an appearance. He scores.
Yeah. Thought so, yeah.
So what happens is it gets played back to Pickford. Defender starts to pressure him.
Oh,
he wants
yeah,
to
I've
put it on
seen,
his left foot to
yeah.
clear it.
Yeah.
Doesn't clear it, and they score, and
That one would think that would be the worst one he let in that game.
They would, yeah. They would, yeah.
One would be wrong.
So, no matter, Iwobi comes in, bangs one in, 3-1.
Even Iwobi looks like he can play football this year.
Yeah.
Didn't he score a backheeler, or he backheeled it to someone for an assist, didn't he?
He played a really good ball through to Decore for Rodriguez's second against Brighton. It was really good. He looks okay. I still don't think he looks like a £35 million winger.
No.
Even in this day and age, he looks like a 15 to 20 max.
Yeah. But when you're falling over your own feet, that's when you know.
So then
35 million.
Fleetwood pull one back with an amazing overhead kick.
Oh yeah, nothing Pickford could do about it.
Like,
could he?
Overhead kick straight down Pickford's throat, and he
it
flops at it like a fish and managed
it was like it was like a bug in a video game. Because all he had to do was just put his hands up and catch it.
Yeah.
And it's just like when you've ever played FIFA or PES or something like that.
Yeah.
And the goalie does it, and then for all of a sudden they just go, blah, and then just drop the ball and it just goes in. Oh, it was ridiculous.
So
you're like a cat when you squirt with water and it just jumps up.
Yeah. So that was 3-2, and it was a bit like, what are we doing? We look like we've been cruising. This 3-2 scoreline doesn't do it justice. Yeah. And are they gonna get one at the end and take pens? Because you're straight pens. Then Bernard scores one, good goal, and then the last goal was Keane's goal. That and Cuckoo, he goes down the wing and then he plays a little backheel ball back, and then Keane scores. It's a really good goal. 5-2, through to the next round, close to winning the cup.
Yep, in the quarters now, right?
We are, yeah. So next league game was Crystal Palace, and they were on the back of beating
United at Old Trafford.
Yeah, at Old Trafford. So
both teams. Masterclass.
So Everton fans and Palace fans on Twitter haven't laughed like, oh, this is top of the table fight, and Palace fans quite nice. Team cool.
Yeah.
Like them. They're not like Liverpool fans, so we got on with.
I mean, it's not a high bar to set, is it?
So it's going to be a tough.
Yeah.
Well, not a tough game, but it'd be a test again.
Yeah.
Given how they were playing. So we go 1-0 up straight away. Calvert again scores. Great. And then they equalise, and it's like, okay, we were away, and they've just beat United. Then we get the pen for handball.
Right.
You've seen this? So Dean heads it down,
Yeah.
Into the box, and
I've seen
Ward goes to turn basically with the motion of the ball.
Yeah.
And as he turns, that hand sort of comes out slightly. It hits his hand. It doesn't mean it.
The handball rule, I know obviously it helped you in that situation, but it's just been a joke this year,
Oh, yeah.
isn't it? Absolute joke.
What was weird with that and VAR is that happened, and then I feel like I'm probably wrong. I feel like there was like 2 to 3 minutes of play happened before it got called back for that decision. Like they were at the other end of the pitch before it got called back. Now, where I can see it being handball in one sense is if it doesn't hit his hand, it was going through to Richarlison, so it did block.
Yeah.
Sort of a scoring opportunity, but he didn't mean it. He didn't stick his hand out.
Yeah, it wasn't an intention.
It's one of them. If it happened to us, I'd be fuming, but because it didn't, and we got the pen and we scored.
Yeah.
So we got lucky there. We soaked up a lot of pressure, and we got the 2-1. But again, like I said, if you want to be toxic, got to beat toxic. Sign of a good side is a team that grinds results out.
Exactly.
You've got to get those wins, and we did. So again, that's 3 league wins, 2 League Cup wins, 5 and 5, brilliant. West Ham,
The mighty West Ham.
Cup. Hey,
To be fair, didn't they
just come on the back of beating
Leicester
4-0.
Was it 4?
No,
Was it 3?
4-3. Correct us. Looks how stupid we are.
Yeah. Either way, they battered Leicester.
Yeah, they beat Leicester. But we're going to be playing there. Not a full strength team. We brought a fairly full strength team out.
Was this in the league? Or?
No, this was in the cup. This was
Another Carabao Cup?
Yeah, we played 3 Carabao Cup games. You won't have because you don't come in till.
Oh, that's why, because we come in a round later.
Yeah.
I was like, we're in the same place, but we played 2.
Yeah.
I couldn't work out.
No, we play an extra game. So David Moyes just tested positive for coronavirus, so he couldn't attend the game. So he was managing from his bath at home.
David Moyes was like a glass of red, just going, just with like a
He got
Bluetooth
those
8.
trays. He did a bath, he did a big bubble bath, letting his hair down. For some reason, I still imagine him wearing like a training trackie in the bath, and Everton won though.
Just R4 just like shaking his head all the way through it.
They get carried away with this bath scene, so we stopped it there.
Oh, if only we could get David Moyes onto a bath scene sketch.
Yeah. David, if you're watching, I'll be on as a guest. So
we'll provide the bath.
Yeah. So West Ham in the cup, and you were talking about Big Mick Keane before turning like a dump truck. Well, he did a brilliant turn. So I thought, what is he doing with it?
Yeah.
But he pulled it off. Lob ball, Calvert-Lewin, nice touch, bang, 1-0. It's great. Then I went 1-1. Snodgrass scored. It was a really good goal.
He's a good player, good Snodgrass. But he just like disappears from a lot of games.
But in the end, we won the game. We walked in the end 4-1.
Yeah. He's busy.
Moyes, classic David Moyes, didn't make any substitutes, which is
probably he couldn't get any signal from the
I was going to say, dropped his phone in the bath. Whoa.
And then he had a choice, mate. Do I go and get the house
like,
phone, or do I just stay in the bath? And he's just like, I'll stay in the bath.
Sure, I want to make the subs. Yeah, he doesn't know what to do. Now, the only worry from that game is we got 3 injuries. So, John Joe Kelly, who's the backup right back, he went off injured. Richarlison went off with an injury. Both John Joe Kenny's and Richarlison's looked like ankle injuries, but didn't look too serious. I'm not physio.
Yeah.
Not too serious. And then Alan went off. His looked a bit more of a growing problem. It did look a bit more serious. Now, fucking Twitter physios were straight on it. Like, that is this injury. And someone said they seen like a hand signal from the physio, and it meant this thing and stuff. And it was like, sorry, what? Like, physios usually do like, we're going to have to do a sub, or he can give him a minute to try and run it off. No, this guy apparently was like, abductor injury 2 to 3 weeks on. just like the
what do they offer, like the hard of hearing people just in the corner, like just like
Right, so getting to all you City fans that are bored of this at the moment, we're getting to the last Everton game.
I don't think they want to hear the City part, to be fair.
Yeah, enjoy the Everton part because the City part's not as fun.
We like Everton, it's fine. We liked them last year when they were singing Blue Moon and stuff.
So we're going into the 4th game this season, 4th league game against Brighton at home.
Yeah.
could be a test. You know what I mean? This doesn't do. I'm a realist when it comes to Everton, and I don't think we're going to take any team for granted. I'm not anyway.
Yeah.
Every team's going to be a challenge, especially this one because Richarlison passed a last-minute fitness test for the game. Alan was out and Gomez was out. I don't know what happened to Gomez because he wasn't involved in the League Cup, but he was just
probably just got injured.
Yeah, knocking training or something.
Yeah.
So we started Tom Davies and Sigurdsson midfield. So I had
Who else in
PTSD.
midfield?
Oh, well, we still had
Decore and
you had Decore, you had Rodriguez, Richarlison. But I was getting PTSD flashbacks from last season with them two midfield.
Just saw like Sigurdsson like play a ball backwards and it just latch on to someone like no.
And before this had happened, apparently I think it was Mark Schwarzer. I don't know where the fuck he came from, but he you have to check.
He just crawled out of his cage.
Someone has to check this quote, but he said like Everton are 2 or 3 injuries away from dropping back into mediocrity. Like, oh, it's not that great. You've got like couples of
Mark Schwartz talking about mediocrity.
Exactly. But this was
There'll be a lot of Middlesbrough fans going, he was brilliant.
Yeah.
Again, Middlesbrough.
If you're a Middlesbrough fan and you listen to this, you're lost. But yeah, so this would be the test because it's a fair point, you know. How would we cope with injuries? We won 4-2 marks, so fuck you.
Get ready.
Now, what was worrying again from that game is about 20 minutes in, Richarlison went off injured.
Yeah.
Looked like same injury again. He then went off and played for Brazil in the international break, so it couldn't have been that bad.
I remember that because we both took Richarlison out of our fantasy team and then when he started.
But yeah, it was game 4-2. Another Pickford error. Someone had a shot, they sort of kicked to the floor, bounced up. He just had to catch it, and he didn't. He knocked it out, and then he scored.
It's like us playing on a Friday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just like, I've got it.
But yeah, the main worry was like Rodriguez got 2 goals, set up another, and it wasn't an easy win. We were 4-1 up, and we just started soaking the pressure and just letting them come at us. And then they scored
off the gas though,
and then they scored this like brilliant volley. They got one to make it 4-2. It was great. Well, like I say, Coleman went off injured as well.
Okay.
Who's then played right back, or do you already know?
Oh, you told me. Didn't somebody just come in and just basically shifted the whole defence? Or
No. This was my brother.
Oh, sorry,
He's a better manager than Carlisle.
Yeah,
so that's what he would have. No, we just dropped Tom Davies into right
back. That was it. Yeah.
And to be fair to him in the whole game, he had a good game.
Right.
Yeah, and like I said, Sigurdsson, he played well. I think he set up one of the goals, put a through ball. He looked fine. They both looked better in a better team.
Yeah.
So that's the start of the season. We're unbeaten. So we got 4th and 4 in the league, top of the league still, and then the international break comes, so we're still top of the league, which is great. And Everton fans were great. We made up.
Well,
the next game.
To be fair to you, your prospects look good.
Yeah, the next game's the derby. That's going to be another.
I'd
big
love
test.
it if you like absolutely just pulled the pants down and just gave it to them.
Well, not like that.
Wet and dry.
Before the international break against Villa, was it? So
exactly. Well, fucking what's he called? Ollie Watkins can score it.
Yeah.
Can score 3 against them. What can Calvert-Lewin do?
But we'll get on to that. We're going to finish the show with that. We'll get on to
like something that we both like.
We probably should have addressed this. The reason we're going through all of this is because we
started like 5 games into the season.
We do plan on just doing week to week games. We're not going to give it 5 games. Here's our new 5 games.
See you in 5 weeks, guys. See you in a bit.
We'll do week by week, but we had to catch up. So yeah, that's City start the season because
so on paper, the start of the season, if I said to you, we played 5 games, won 3, drawn 1, lost 1.
Mm-hmm.
Not horrific, right?
Not awful.
Not awful. Until you hear the results
of
the people. So starts off, we play Wolves. Wolves, very good team.
Beat Wolves, yeah.
They're a very good team. We go there, we win 3-1.
That's good results.
Yeah.
They beat you last season.
Twice last
season. Yeah, I thought they'd done the
this is why it was like a big yeah. So in my head I was like, that's 3 points that we already didn't have from last season. Because I think we lost 2-0 at home to them, and Traore just wrecked Fernandinho at centre back, and then we went to Wolves and we went 2-0 up, and then fucking Edison went and got sent off. So then we bring Bravo in, which is not great, and then we have to take off. I can't remember who we took off. We took an outfield player off. I think we might have took Aguero or something like that off.
because we were 2-0
Yeah.
up. And then we just lost 3-2. Matt Doherty at the end just like turned into like prime Messi. Just like goes past two people, like slams it into the bottom corner with his left and his right footed. Just like fuck's sake. So anyway, we go 2-0 up. I'm like, right, we're cruising, and then Jimenez scores a header. And I'm getting flashbacks to when we lost 3-2 when we went 2-0 up. But we like kept hold of the ball. We were like we soaked up a lot of pressure. I'm not gonna like say we didn't, but they scored like quite close to the end. They scored like towards the 80th minute.
Yeah.
So we just had 10 minutes, and then Jesus scores one at the end. Bit of a lucky deflected one, but scores. So I'm like, fucking A, we're like, we beat Wolves. That's 3 points already from last season that we didn't have. I'm like, great. Phil Foden put in a shift, looked good, scored a goal. I was like, buzzing. So next game, we go to the Carabao Cup.
Okay.
And we play Bournemouth. And we play, half the team is the like EDS team, the Elite Development Squad team out, basically.
Yeah.
Now, I was excited for this game because a player called Liam Delap was playing.
Yes.
Son of Rory Delap.
Yes.
The great Rory Delap.
Yeah.
And he's like 17, he's got a bunch of goals in the academy. Like, you see him on all the fan
You're only
accounts.
17, yeah?
17, yeah. Scored a bunch of goals. Big, powerful, strong, not slow, but not like rapid.
Yeah.
Really good finisher.
Is he a striker?
He's striker, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
A lot of like City fans have compared him to Haaland in the way that he plays. Obviously, at the minute, nowhere near as good as Haaland.
Yeah.
But he's got the same build.
Mhm.
I think he's also left-footed and he can strike it. So Liam Delap scores in the 18th minute on his debut. Beautiful goal.
Yeah.
Gets it, runs across top corner. I'm like, oh, come on. And then 4 minutes later, Bournemouth score. And I'm just sat there going, oh no. And I'm just like, okay, it's not bad. It's 1-0. And then we just couldn't get a foothold in the game. Bournemouth playing quite well. And then Foden scores in like the 75th minute. It's all good.
Yeah,
It's all sunshine and roses. Because I was like, I know we've only just beat them, but we didn't have a full squad out. I mean, we brought on like we brought on like De Bruyne and like a couple of other big players on towards the end, but I think that was mainly just like mop up crew basically to make sure that we didn't concede. Next game, Leicester. Leicester, I always think is a tricky game because you don't know which Leicester's going to turn up.
Yeah.
You can get the Leicester that we beat, like we hammered last year, or you get the Leicester that turned up this week. So early on, the game's like, in the first units you can't really say anything about the game, but we were like going forward, bombing forward, get a cross in. Mahrez, beautiful volley right to the top, bullet, and I was like,
Did actually see.
it was such a good goal. It was so good. I think it was with his right foot as well. So I'm like, oh, this is fine. That first half dominated the game, absolutely dominated the game. And then in towards the 40th minute, Jamie Vardy runs towards goal, and now he gets into the area. He's on the left side, not much danger. Walker gives him the cold hand of death, as you call it. Touches him, Vardy goes down, penalty. For fuck's sake, because I know Vardy's not going to miss the penalty. He smashes it in. All right, okay, it's okay. 1-1. We were dominating the game. We're going to come out fine. And I remember I was like trying to get the stream up. I think I was like putting petrol in at the time. I was like trying to get home, and I'm like, I've got it up, and it like froze. All right, so I like did it, reset it, like went and paid for the petrol, come back, and it's 2-1. I'm like, oh, fucking hell. And then I'm like, okay, it's not too bad. 4 minutes later, 3-1. I'm like, oh. And then it gets to 4-1, and I'm like, oh my god, what is going on? We're losing 4-1 at home to Leicester, and we get one back. Ake scores. I'm like, oh. Finally, I was like, it's probably like, including injury time, 10 minutes to go. And there's a part of me that's like, oh, if we just get one in the next couple of minutes, it'll make for a good end.
Nice, okay.
Next few minutes, before the 90th minute, we get one. We might get one in that added time.
There's some good optimism.
It is some good optimism. And then James Maddison goes forward and hits one from about 30 yards.
Seen that. That was a good goal.
Corner.
Yeah, that was a good goal.
It's like Maddison when Maddison was good again. And I think I just turned it off after that. I was just like, oh god. I didn't turn it off. I carried on watching, but it was just, I felt like turning it off, and it was horrible. And I was just like, and it, honestly, it felt rough because Liverpool had been winning. They went to Chelsea and Arsenal, and I was like, we're already like so many points behind.
At that point in the season, you've already dropped 3 points to Liverpool. Yeah. And the way
and we got beat. I mean, it was convincing.
Yeah.
Convincing.
The way the league is, and the way like Liverpool are playing, you can't drop.
Can't drop any, especially at home.
Points. Yeah.
I know. This year is a bit of a weird year because I feel like that home advantage has sort of been nullified.
The way people have talked about it is it's affected different players in different ways. You've got certain players that don't cope well with that pressure of a big stadium, and they're playing well with confidence because don't feel the pressure. But then you've probably got players that need that. They need that to get them like psyched up and amped up for it. And there's no fans and they can't, and they're not performing.
Do you know who I think for us is on that second half on the last stage? Mahrez.
Yeah.
I think he needs the stadium because I've seen him and he's just been so graded this year. He like gets the ball, he tries to do a few step overs, cut in, shoots, and like I think it was against Leicester. There was just where he could just play it through to Foden. I think it would have made it either 2-1 or 2-2, and that would have been a completely different game.
Yeah.
And he just hits it from like 20 odd yards out and just like drags it wide. No, it's not like a million miles away, but you've got better options.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's one of those players that, because he's kind of a showboat when the crowd's there and he does something, everyone's go, like that. He thrives on it. I remember against United, I think in the cup last year, he like skinned what's he called, the left back for him? Not sure, the other one, the young one, blonde hair.
No.
Young blonde hair left back. I forgot his name. Don't really care about him. He did like this sort of like flick back and just sent him on his arse and skipped through. And I remember like being I was like, sort of thing. But yeah, anyway, so we lost that. Felt so deflated. I thought I was just before the start of the season. As I told you with the transfers, I was already like not feeling it. So then we go and play Burnley, and I'm like, oh, Burnley are a decent side. They're very good at defending. They're good at the how my dad describes himself at like playing like games. He said he's not good, but he's hard to beat. That's Burnley. They're not great, but they're hard to beat.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And they'll get results. And they always like start off and they're like 15, 16, and then as the season goes on, they'll just slowly climb up into the like 8th, something like that. And I remember like the amount of times we've been there, and the last time we won it in the run-in with Liverpool, we needed to win, and we won 1-0, and it was like it didn't hit the net, and the ball went over the line. They cleared it, and it was like, oh, is it? It was like over the line by like a centimetre or something like that. Anyway, we go there, we win 3-0 at Burnley, and I'm like, oh, maybe it was just a fluke.
Cup game.
Yeah, it was cup game. Sorry, Carabao Cup. We go and beat Burnley 3-0. Carabao Cup's our cup. We've won it 3 years in a row now. So I'm like, great. We've probably bounced back. It's probably given us a kick up our ass. Some of the players needed a kick up their ass, definitely. Ferran Torres sort of arrived. He played really well. I was like, this is great. Sterling scored a couple. Sterling needs to get goals early to get that confidence, especially after what happened in the Champions League last year against Lyon. Definitely needs to get his confidence up. I'm like, great. Okay, we're back on track now. And I was just thinking, I was like, okay, we get going, we get a good run. All we need is like Liverpool to slip up. And in my head, I'm like, there's no way Liverpool are going to get, anybody's going to get anywhere near the amount of points us and Liverpool have got in the last 2 seasons, just because of how condensed this season's going to be. Next game, Leeds. Now, Leeds under Bielsa are a very good team to watch. They're so good to watch. They played against Liverpool, they lost 4-3. Jack Harrison, City player, goes and like rips Liverpool apart. That was beautiful stuff. And it's 4-3. And I'm just like, oh, Liverpool aren't as good as they were last year. And then Liverpool obviously going to be like Arsenal and Chelsea, just shut me up. But anyway, we score early on, like pre-20 minutes. Raheem Sterling scores. I'm like, great, this is it. We're going to go and we're going to beat Leeds convincingly, and it's going to be like thing. And then Leeds attack. And Edison's keeping us in the game. Edison made some good saves. I'm like, fucking hell, if it weren't for Edison, we'd be the thing here. And then like we weren't attacking for a bit, and then we started to grow into it, and it was attack. It was like basketball.
I heard it was like, I didn't watch it, but like a very open game.
It was like a game of basketball where it's like one in the other end, and we just didn't seem to know how to defend. And then Edison, who kept us in the game, and even after this was arguably our best player, corner comes out, he goes to get it, he sort of flaps it down, and it goes right into that Rodrigo, the new signing from Spain, Spain's like first choice striker, who hasn't been getting a game.
Gave the pen away against Liverpool.
He's been kept out of the team by Patrick Bamford.
Him.
He comes to him, follows it into an open net, and it's 1-1. And at this point, I honestly thought we were going to get beaten, and I thought it could be like 3 or 4. But we had a couple of chances, a couple of clear-cut chances that we missed, and it ended 1-1. On the face of it, probably a fair result.
Yeah.
And before the game, I'd be like, that's a bad result. But after the game, I was like, that's probably a good result. But we've not had the best start. We're on 4 points now in the league after 3 games.
Yeah.
Although we've got a game in hand, you're like Everton, for example, are already on 12.
Yeah.
So even if we win the game in hand, we're 5 points behind.
Yeah.
Luckily Liverpool won, so we'd only be 2 points behind, but still 2 points.
Yeah.
And we've dropped points in our first 3 games that we wouldn't have done the last 2 years. And so it just feels all a bit down in the dumps at the minute. Very contrast to like you.
Yeah. It's gonna be good to see how the season progresses.
Yeah, and like moving on from this to what I'm gonna say next, which we'll get to now, is our next game with Arsenal.
Ooh, okay. They've been playing okay.
Yeah, they've been playing great. And I think Arteta is a major factor, and I think it's a factor in like our downfall at the same time, because since Arteta's gone, we've not seemed to be the same. I think Arteta should take more credit for the 2 titles that we won than what he probably gets. And I know, for example, I told you this. He managed on his own certain games. Just him, like Pep Guardiola was like, yeah, you just managed this game, and like you know, it showed. And he's gone to Arsenal, and you can see, although it's not exactly like us, it's very similar to how City play. They're playing from the back. They're doing combos, 1-2s, and they just look a good team. They won the Community Shield.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Community Shield isn't really a trophy, but it's what we were saying earlier about
technically the last trophy we won.
Yeah.
We beat Blackburn 1-0 for him.
Nice.
Vinny Samway's scored.
Yeah. It's not. A lot of people don't class it as a trophy.
No. Well,
but what I will say is, the people that have the best mentality will try and win that.
Yeah.
Because they see it as winning, like physically winning, like some sort of silverware. And I know whenever we've played it, our manager, whether it's been Guardiola, whether it's been Pellegrino, whether it's been Mancini, drilled it in. You have to try and win this, because it's usually you play a competitor for the league. And it's already like a 1-up on them. Do you know what I mean? It's already like, well, we've got this now. Like when we beat Liverpool in the Community Shield, the year we won it, it was automatic like a man. It's like, we just beat you.
Yeah.
We've played you, you think you're going to win, and we just beat you. And then we obviously won the league. So Arsenal won that. They also went and knocked Liverpool out of the Carabao Cup at Liverpool. On pens. Now they also beat Liverpool on pens in the Community Shield, but that is still a mental game. Liverpool have been there. Arsenal
have a lot of confidence going in the game. Especially, like you said, you got beat against Leicester, drew at Leeds. Arsenal going into that next.
Arteta's team talk 100% will be, you just going to beat the champions from last year at their own ground. Why do you think you can't go and beat City at their ground when they've like Leicester? You're better. He'll say something along the lines of, you're a better team than Leicester, which isn't necessarily true. Because Leicester finished above them. But he'll be saying, you're at least as good as Leicester.
They made a few signings as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they made
some. Deadline day.
Yeah, they got that centre-back, Gabriel.
Signed
Partey, the defensive midfielder from Atletico. So, and I know we've got some players back now, because we had some with coronavirus and injuries. Aguero and Jesus are both in training. Don't think they'll play.
No. And
I'm fed up of seeing Sterling through the middle. I'm fed up of like seeing Sterling as a striker. He's not a striker. Put someone else there for the. This is why we should have bought a striker in the window. So I think we'll draw.
I want your score prediction.
2-2.
2-2. 2-2. Okay.
I think it'll be 2-2. I don't think there's any way we can stop Arsenal from scoring. I know we've got Diaz and Laporte now, so that makes me feel a lot better. And Walker, I love Walker. I think he's great. I know he had a bit of a clanger against Leicester, but for every game he plays bad, he plays 4 or 5 where he's great. I do not trust Mendy with my life. Don't trust him in the slightest. I know he gets a lot of stick, and I supported him when we last played, and he was getting a lot of stick online. And I believe in backing your players, but I think you need to be honest. I'll go on record as saying I don't trust him, but I would never like go out and say and like go and give him abuse. And a lot of our fan base, a lot of plastic fans went out and gave Mendy a lot of stick and a lot of abuse. And when your players are down, the worst possible thing you can do is like go. It's all right being a Twitter warrior. It's easy being a Twitter warrior and being like, "You're so shit." It's like these players, the people that are saying it can't even pass a ball fine out straight. Most likely, like all their football knowledge probably comes from FIFA and Football Manager, and they're just like telling you. Like a lot of them were like, "We need to sign that Grimaldo from Benfica." I'm like, you only know him because he's got like a good rating on FIFA and he's got potential. You don't know how good he is in like real life. So now I agree we should have probably bought a left back as well. I didn't touch upon that. I just remembered that because we've got Zinchenko and Mendy, and Cancelo can play there, but Cancelo is better on the right because he's right-footed. I think Cancelo will get a lot more game time this year because he played really well for his last season. He's really good going forward. I think he just needs a bit of time. Walker's like 30, 31 now, so. But we got Zinchenko, and as much as I love Zinchenko, and he did a really good job for us, what I noticed is whenever I go and watch him, he doesn't win a header. He's short, but he doesn't win it, and he's not physical enough. And he's naturally a midfielder, which means he's half decent going forward, but defensively he's very like gets caught out a lot. So that's our bit, and I think like putting Aubameyang against Mendy or Zinchenko is going to be a nightmare. Because Mendy's lost his pace somehow. Like when he first signed for us, he looked really fast. Like wasn't like watching Prime Walcott run down the wing or watching Mbappe run. But he was fast and could keep up. And then in the last match, he was just running. I can't remember who it was. He was just running after someone, and he looked heavy and tired. It was like his legs couldn't carry him. So 2-2. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost. I would be surprised if we won. That's how I feel about it. I can't see us. If we win, it'll be by a goal. It won't be like we win by 2 or 3. I hope it is. I hope with all my heart it is. But I can't see us doing it because they're playing really well. Arsenal. They're on a. Have they won pretty much all their matches this season so far? They're in the top 4. We're like 5th, 14th.
I think they have. They must have dropped points because they would have played the same amount as us.
I don't know. Oh, they lost against Liverpool, but they only lost 2-1. And they played really well. It wasn't there wasn't like a big difference. So I can't see us beating Arsenal. I think it'll be like 2-2, 1-1. I think it'll be goals.
It's a really strange season because you sound like an Everton fan.
You're about to tell me we're gonna win, we're gonna do this, and it's like, oh, you sound like me from like 2 years ago.
It's strange,
So you lot are playing.
We're going into the Merseyside derby, Just shut all the pubs. So we're all getting a coach to Manchester to come and watch the derby.
Is it Sunday you play?
Saturday.
You're gonna come down at Saturday. You're like, whoa.
So going into it, we're going into it a lot of confidence.
We do not endorse going to Manchester and spreading coronavirus, by the way.
But fuck Boris.
Fuck Boris.
I was going to say something else, though. I'm not going
to say it. I'll just edit it out. I won't edit it out.
So we're going into it a lot of confidence, unbeaten. And like I said,
Liverpool just got absolutely wrecked. Oh, beautifully by Villa.
7-2. So we've got a lot of confidence going into it. Villa have shown
they can be done.
Goals past them.
It can be done.
Leeds showed it, and going into it, I feel like it's going to be like if we can play our full strength team, if everyone's fit, and it sounds like they're going to have their full strength team, which is unfortunate for us, but you got to be the best, got to beat the best. So it makes for an interesting and hopefully exciting game. Say this, most Merseyside derby is like 0-0. Well, they are at Goodison, and then they usually thump us at Anfield, but we'll see.
You usually get at least a draw though, don't you?
We usually get a draw at Goodison, and then
When was the last time you beat Liverpool in the league?
10 years ago, 2010. We went 2-0. KL and Arteta. Arteta,
the great Mikel. The great Mikel. See, we both love Arteta now.
So, not only, so he's then gone on to play for Arsenal, captain Arsenal, assistant manager at City, and now manage Arsenal. Well, the last time we beat Liverpool, he played and scored. He was great for us. One of my favourite players.
He was great. I remember growing up watching him, and I thought he was a really good player.
Yeah, he was. So we're going into it a lot of confidence. Now, at the moment, the way we're playing, I can't see us not scoring.
No, I can't see you not scoring either.
But I also can't see us not conceding.
Yeah.
Roll on 0-0. So, I had to think about my score prediction.
Would you take 0-0 as a...
Honestly,
pressure?
yes.
Yeah.
I know you're all there shit house, whatever, but come on, if we can get past Liverpool with a point, and we're then 5 games into the season with 13 points.
Oh yeah.
That's strong. And then we play Southampton.
Yeah.
After that, so you'd want to win that. You're still going with the momentum. I'd rather a draw than a defeat. If you offered me a draw now, I'd probably take it.
Yeah.
A lot of fans are like, oh no, we'll win. Go, shut up, shut up. The loss.
Calm down. Everton fans that are deluded, you're lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't take deluded fans because we don't support Liverpool.
The level-headed fans podcast.
Maybe we should change our name from the blue side to the level-headed fans podcast.
I don't want to listen to it.
Well, we don't want to listen to that. We want to listen to you tell us we're going to win everything.
Yeah. But yeah, score prediction. I think I'm going to go bold.
Oh, go on. 3-1.
No, I think we're going to win 4-3.
Oh.
I think it's going to be an absolute goal
fest.
fest. And I think Big Mick Keane's going to score an header.
The winner?
Like the 89th minute to win it.
Like, remember that Jagielka volley like that? But
Yes, exactly that. Now, that's going to be amazing if it does happen. It's going to be fucking really amazing if it happens. It's going to be so sad because there's going to be no one there.
Yeah.
If that game does play out the way I'm saying 4-3 and winner in that last minute, you imagine them
And you can't go to the pubs and watch it either. Unless it's a restaurant. I'll have 4 pints and 4 roast dinners, please.
One best derbies I remember I say recent years, fucking Martinez was manager. It was 3-3 and it was a really good game.
Was that the Jagielka one or was that a different one?
No.
Was that 1-1?
That was 1-1.
Yeah.
No, this was 3-3. It was a really good game. And I just feel like it's going to be like that. I feel like we're both going to have a go. I think both defences are going to just be like,
I'm going to crack open.
yeah, it's going to be like a sieve.
Well, this is the thing. I've said this for ages, and we said it earlier on. Trent and Robertson, great going forward.
Yeah.
Defensively, they are weak.
Yeah. No, I'd say...
I say that. I couldn't get it past them, like, but...
if you're a betting person, throw a little goals galore on both teams to score.
Yeah. You're going to have a little bet on 4-3?
For now, I've said it, I might have to.
Imagine if it's 4-3 and you don't make the bet, you're like, oh god, I knew it.
Make sure you gamble responsibly, and when the fun stops,
stop. We're not sponsored, but if you're watching Betfair, is it Betfair?
I don't know. Coral, maybe not Paddy Power.
Coral, Betfair, Betfred.
Anyone, if you want to sponsor this podcast, which has 6 listeners, 2 of which are my brothers,
and the other 4 may or may not be cancelled. No, the boys got us. The boys got us. The blue boys.
The blue side.
Blue side.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna wrap it up with that.
Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up with that. I said whap it up then.
Wrap it up.
Whap. I got that wet ass. You know the rest.
But yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah,
hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's going to be a bit longer than what we will usually do. We're going to go and put weekly ones out. Yeah. Talk about the games that's happened that weekend, look to the next weekend, and anything that's going on.
In future, this is obviously a one-off format, but the format will be similar in the sense we'll talk about the game, we'll say what we thought about the game, and obviously it's going to, like I said, we're going to aim to do it once a week. Yeah. So
try our best. Yeah.
We'll come out on Fridays, so let's get your notifications ready. Predictions, and obviously there'll be some weeks where there's cup games and Champions League games, so
definitely
there'll be like more than one game to talk about. We'll always do Everton, we'll always do City. If you want us to cover anything, obviously that's related to City and Everton, but something that's
something going on in football.
Yeah, if there's something major going on about football, let us know in the comments. But I think that's.
But yeah, that's it. We want interaction, so feel free to. We'll be on Twitter and stuff, so comment, all that.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, notification squad.
Good.
Yeah.
We haven't thought of a sign off, so...
Can you tell this is our first time?
Well, yeah, just thanks for listening, and
thanks for listening.
Enjoyed it,
yeah, I hope you tune in next week.
And maybe eventually we'll come up with a sign off.
And we'll come up with a sign off, but for now, this is the sign off. Goodbye.
That'll do. Yeah,
we're
good.